Thank you. Thank you. Do we love each other in this room? It's love. It's love. Hey, a friend of mine comes to see me, and he's a very, very successful guy. And I was speaking in front of a crowd of 21,000 people. The other night in Alabama, we had 35,000 people in a football field. And he was there. It was a smaller crowd, 21,000, right? And he's a really successful guy, somebody that you all sort of would have heard of from a business success. And he said, how do you do that? He said, if I have to speak in front of 10 people, I can't sleep at night. I said, let me tell you something. There is such love in those rooms, in those stadiums, in those areas that I speak. It's actually easy. There's love. It's like a family. It's love. It really is, too. It really is. It's love. So when I came down that escalator, I said, you know what? Let's just do it. And I took a deep breath. I went, whoa. And I came down with Melania, and I looked at what was going on with that horrible, horrible, horrible Iran deal. You look at that horrible deal. We give $150 billion. We get nothing. We get nothing. And you look at our trade deals. They're the worst ever, ever, ever. And we can't go on like this. We cannot continue to lose hundreds of billions of dollars with various countries, China being the worst abuser. And I like China. I have the biggest bank in the world from China, my tenant. I sell tens of millions of dollars worth of condos to Chinese people. I get along great with China. I mean, they're killing us. Their leaders are too smart for our leaders. In Mexico, their leaders are too smart for our leaders. Which is this group here? Get them out of here. Get them out. Is the Trump rally the most fun? Seriously. You know, I had two yesterday. We went to Virginia, we went to Georgia, we had two great rallies, big rallies, lots of people, thousands and thousands of people. The first one had quite a few protesters. We had to stop about 3 or 4 times. The second one had none. The second speech I made was better. But you know what? It was more boring. I like the first one more. I love my protesters. We love our protesters, right? So what's happening is China this year we're going to have a trade imbalance. We're going to have disruptive. I call it disruptive because that's what it is. But we're going to have a trade deficit of $500 billion, folks. It's not happening anymore. Not going to happen anymore. They've taken our jobs. They've taken our money. They've taken our manufacturing. They've taken our base. Not going to happen anymore. And then I have these guys. I'm a free trader. But free trade has to be smart trade. It has to be equal trade. We can't let these people, these so-called eggheads, and by the way, I guarantee you, my IQ is much higher than theirs, all right? You know, somebody said the other day, yes, well, the intellectuals. I said, what's intellectual? I'm smarter than they are. Many of the people in this audience are smarter than they are. The intellectuals, you know, like they're smart people. These are the same people, the pundits. The pundits, I can tell you that every one of them. I mean, I know them so well. I hate to mention their names because you give them credit. But no matter what you do, it's never like up to them. The pundits. So they're saying, Trump will never run. Then I run. Then they say, oh, this is terrible. Then they say, Trump will never sign Form A. That's where you sign your entire life away. I signed Form A. Then they say, well, Trump will never put in his financials because maybe he's not as successful as people think. And then I put in almost 100 pages on time. I didn't even ask. They said he'll ask for delays. I put them in. I had accountants working almost 100, working around the clock. And the numbers turned out to be far, far, far bigger, better assets. I have the best assets in the world, very little debt. Tremendous cash flow. And I don't say that in a bragging way. I say it because that's the kind of thinking that our country needs. We need that kind of thinking. So I built a great company, an incredible company, and then I built So much. And then we had The Apprentice. I mean, one of the most successful shows in decades on television. Tremendous show, tremendous success. By the way, NBC renewed me. They wanted to renew me for many, many episodes. Because we did great last year. After 14 seasons, it was doing great. And I said, I can't do it. Steve Burke of Comcast came up, a great guy, the boss. He said, Donald, we want to renew you. I said, no, Steve, I'm running for president. I can't do it. You know, you're not allowed to do it because of equal time laws. I said, Steve, I still love it. I said, Steve, I'm running for president. He said, no, you're not, no, you're not. And they renewed it. I said, Steve, I'm not doing it. He said, I don't think you're going to run. Everybody said, I don't think you're going to run. And then I ran. And we picked Arnold Schwarzenegger to be the guy. How will Arnold do compared to Trump? I don't know. You got to be very quick. You got to be. Look at the people in the back of the room. Look at that. We can't. The people are still pouring in. Do you think they'll write that? They'll never write that. They'll say, Donald Trump came to Ohio today and he spoke in front of a gathering. There's no gathering. This is one hell of a big hangar. And this place is packed. This place is packed. So I give up a lot. I mean, I give up a 2-hour primetime show. I give up deals. I give up a lot of things. I've written many books, bestsellers, many bestsellers. The Art of the Deal is the #1 selling business book of all time. And by the way, Barack Obama did not read it. John Kerry did not read it, believe me. They did not read it. So I came down the escalator and I said a little thing about trade. And I said, this is going to be about trade. And then during the speech I said, illegal immigration. I started talking about it. Believe me, folks, illegal immigration has turned out to be one of the really big factors in this entire campaign. You wouldn't even be talking about it, you wouldn't be hearing about it if I didn't take all that heat and mention that in my first speech. You wouldn't even be talking. And then it turned out that illegal immigration is a much bigger deal than people understood. The crime is incredible. And then you see Kate, beautiful Kate in San Francisco, get shot in the back by a guy that's been here 5 different times he came over, probably a lot more than that. And then you see other things. Jamil, whose father is an incredible guy who I got to know, he became a friend of mine. Jamil, going to have a football scholarship, great quarterback, great student, going to get a scholarship to the best colleges. And he's a young boy, and he gets shot in the face, 3 or 4 times in the face, going home to see his father, walking on the sidewalk, not touching anybody, not talking to anybody, this great young man. And you see the veteran, a female, 65 years old, raped, sodomized, and killed in Los Angeles. And you know what? And you say, and that's 3. There are hundreds. It's out of control. And then you see what happens with the economy, and you see what's going on with drugs pouring through our system. And drugs in New Hampshire, you know, I won New Hampshire, and I made a commitment to the people of New Hampshire. I said, I'm going to stop heroin from coming in. It's coming in right through. We're going to stop it. We're going to stop it all over the country. But I made a commitment. I'll tell you what, New Hampshire, incredible people, because they sort of got me started. We go to New Hampshire. I wasn't favored to win. We won in a landslide. Then we go to, right? Then we go to South Carolina, where the evangelicals are unbelievable people. Unbelievable people. We go to South Carolina, and what happens? I win in a landslide. What happened? And I won with every single group, every single state I won with every single group. Then we go to Nevada, same thing. We won with the rich. We won with the less than rich. We won with the highly educated. We won with the less than educated. And I always say, I love those people. I love them. I do love them. And we won with everything. We won with men. We won with women. We won with evangelicals. We won with the military. We won with the vets. We won with everybody. And there's a movement going on. There really is. There's a movement going on. 3 weeks ago, Time magazine did the cover story on this movement. They say, in the history of American politics, the history of the United States, there has never been anything like this that's happened. There's never.